Good morning, all. Wild weather here for livewiththeblogs.com, and I'm going to give you an update here on Tropical Storm Debby. This is as at 8 o'clock this morning, about an hour, 15, 20 minutes ago. This is from weatherunderground.com, and here's her center right here. Well, what's left of it. We'll talk about that in a moment. 45-mile-per-hour winds right now, movement to the east at 991 millibars, so kind of holding her own. And it's been sitting out over here in the northeastern Gulf of Mexico seemingly now. Seems like forever now. And these people along the the Panhandle, St. Mark's area over here toward Cross City and down the coast to Tampa and Orlando and Jacksonville, every point in between, will be happy when the center reaches a location over here off the east coast of Florida in the coming days. That's what I said, coming days. 3 miles per hour. Wow, that's really slow. And it's probably not going to gain any more speed than that. This trough, as you saw, that came through and gave all the severe weather up here to the Delaware beaches. Lewis, Delaware, really got hammered yesterday with winds gusting near 70 miles per hour. Lots of damage, and straight line wind damage seemed to be the case through Richmond, Virginia. That front, as you can see, is right here, and it's going to bypass today. It's going to bypass Debby off to the northeast, and it's going to leave Debby behind. We'll just have to wait and see exactly what's left of Debby as she crosses the peninsula. And quite frankly, Debby doesn't have an awful lot of land to cross. It's just how slowly will she do it? That's going to be the thing. Definitely look for Debby to be probably downgraded at some point today to a tropical depression, and then we'll see what happens in this vicinity. Oh, I would say, what's today, Tuesday? I would say by Thursday or Friday, maybe she regenerates into tropical storm, and then we have to start this whole process of deciding where she's going to go again, and we'll talk about that in a moment. So, here she is this morning. Not a lot associated with her. Let's go to the radar here, and you can see there seems to be some kind of a tropical front that's set up from Valdosta to Waycross to just north of Brunswick, Georgia here. If you would, it's like any low pressure. Low pressure is here. You got your warm front kind of thing standing here with the warm air, warm moist air going over the relatively drier, cooler air. But you can see that the center of low pressure is down here in the extreme northeastern Gulf of Mexico. This right here would be Cross City, Florida, and probably most likely track for Debby is to come across this area right here, not far from Gainesville, and then come across maybe Flagler Beach exit, and then into the Atlantic. So we'll have to wait and see how much of this holds together. Let's go to the 24-hour loop of the satellite. This is important stuff here now. This is from NOAA, and here's the big blow up of thunderstorms from earlier yesterday. About this time yesterday, big blow up, there you go. That caused a very heavy rain and thunderstorms along the Gulf Coast up until about 2 o'clock in the morning last night. Tremendous rains are sitting over the same area. That has seemingly been sheared and ripped off to the east. This is associated with the mid-level circulation, which is now right in here, getting ready to move toward the Jacksonville area. The low-level circulation has been left behind, and that is right here. You're looking probably about 80 miles from the coast, if not less, probably 40 to 80 miles. And the low-level circulation is what the models are trying to latch on to, especially the GFS at this point. And they need to latch on to something because there is a little low-level circulation. Now the question is when it crosses the peninsula and it exits between, say, about, well, if you want to go broadly, Cape Canaveral to Jacksonville, probably more like Daytona to Flagler Beach or so, and it comes in this position here, what's left, and can a mid-level circulation rejoin the low-level circulation? And if that does indeed happen, then we're going to have to watch probably Tropical Storm Debby all over again and see where she goes from there. So let's see what's happening. This is the GFS. GFS sits her, and then we're going to come on shore right near Cross City, exit near Jacksonville, and come up here. Now this is from the 12Z yesterday, but you can see that the GFS thought maybe we bring it up the East Coast. And it does seem plausible, you know. Now she is further east. The slow movement and the discombobulation of the storm in terms of low level and mid level circulation is going to make it very difficult for any one of these models to kind of latch on to see where she's going to go. But the thought is that I had was, okay, we had a trough that came. Let's hold on here. Let's just stop this here. All right, we had a trough that came through. It missed Debby. It's leaving. Now high pressure is building in, and that high pressure will also move to the East Coast. Remember the heat that's going to be coming up the East Coast, coming on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and that to me means there's going to be high pressure out in here, and the return flow around high pressure comes up the East Coast like this. So this idea that GFS had from 12Z yesterday and a couple other runs yesterday uh, is quite plausible. And I believe the Euro and to some extent the Canadian also were trying to follow the GFS. And we'll wait and see, but that's a plausible situation. So the jury is not out yet on whether Debby can time it all together. The slow movement and the disorganization of the storm is really going to have to be considered when we're tracking here. Um, but it is quite plausible that she does try to come up the east and sneak up the east coast behind the backside of a high pressure leaving the east coast and our next front that may be coming down by Sunday. All about timing, it's all about movement, and it's all about organization of the storm. So three things to be looking at this week, and we just have to wait and see what goes on. The official forecast track, in any case, this again from weatherunderground.com, is to take her across the Florida Peninsula as a tropical depression, reemerge on the Atlantic side, tropical storm, and then we'll see where she goes from there. At this point right here, probably in this area, it becomes a little bit hairy as to deciding where Debby is going to go. The easy track right now is to take her straight out east northeast out to sea and then well off the Atlantic coast. But we have to be open-minded right down at this point to also include maybe a little turn up the east coast before the exit off to the right. So, and that's because of the building high pressure off the east coast come Thursday into Sunday, and whether or not a trough is going to be coming down again, and maybe that steers Debby up the coast further. So something to watch today in the coming days. So stay tuned here to liveweatherblogs.com. Once again, this is the 8 o'clock advisory of Debby. And Debby right now is continuing to sit the low-level circulation right about here, about 50 to 80 miles off the coast of Cross City, Florida. Going to move across the peninsula, and then we'll see what's left as she exits Flagler Beach, Florida, or so, St. Augustine area. This is Wild Weather for LiveWeatherBlogs.com. Please have a great day and keep abreast of where Debby may be going, especially if you have weekend plans on the shore, along the Jersey Shore, just in case. At the very least, look for the surf levels to rise, and maybe some rip currents and rough surfs, probably from Florida all the way up to the Delaware and Jersey beaches. This is Wild Weather for LiveWeatherBlogs.com.